Hi, I'm Isabella.
And I'm Sophie.
And we're here to talk to you about the current growing epidemic of the use of the drug nicotine.
We wanted to share this with you due to the fact that this drug is becoming ever more present in society today. We felt the need to share this information with everyone. Nicotine also is known as 3,1-methyl-2-pyrrolidinylpyridine.
Sounds like a fun name. Right, Soph?
Sure, Izzy.
Anyways, what is nicotine? Nicotine is both a highly addictive stimulant as well as a sedative. It is a colorless to light yellow liquid.
Oily liquid.
Oily liquid. It turns brown when exposed to light or air, and it is also available as a powder.
Nicotine was named after the plant Nicotiana tabacum, which was named after Jean Nicot, who was the French ambassador of Portugal, who sent tobacco from Brazil to Paris in 1560.
In 1828, nicotine was first isolated by two German scientists, Veslot Wilhelms and Karl Raimund. In 1843, its empirical formula was described by Louis Mellins.
Nicotine is composed of 10 carbon atoms, 14 hydrogen atoms, and 2 nitrogen atoms, giving it the chemical molecular formula of C10H14N2 and the empirical formula of C5H7N.
And what does C10H14N2 look like, so?
Like this. Of course it's addictive, Izzy. It's 74% carbon, 8.65% hydrogen, and 17.35% nitrogen. So, Izzy, where can someone find nicotine?
In the wild, nicotine can be found in the Solanaceae or nightshade family of plants. Some of these plants of this family would include the eggplant, tobacco, or the petunia.
What about the products? What are they?
Nicotine can be found in a variety of smoking and vaping products, such as cigars, cigarettes, and of course, the Juul. It's getting chilly. Why don't we go inside? Nicotine comes in a variety of dosages, ranging from 5 milligrams to 21 milligrams. And this is converted from grams to moles to atoms for those dosages.
Oh, now I remember. Nicotine is the chemical that gives someone a buzz once they're exposed to it. This reaction is caused from the adrenal gland releasing adrenaline into the body. Adrenaline creates glucose, which causes an increased heart rate, breathing activity, and blood pressure.
Yes, in addition to this, it also causes the pancreas to create less insulin, increasing the blood sugar level in the body. After this, nicotine is able to disperse dopamine throughout the body, the same effect that occurs when a person intakes cocaine or heroin.
Yikes, that doesn't sound too good, Isabella.
Sure doesn't, so.
Did you know that cocaine is actually pretty similar to nicotine? Also known as coke, cocaine is a strong stimulant that is usually used as a recreational drug. With the formula of C17H21NO4, cocaine can be a colorless to white crystal or powder. It can be snorted, smoked, or dissolved in water to be injected, and, like nicotine, it gives a similar rushing effect.
Actually, Soph, I don't quite understand it. If nicotine is able to give the same effect as someone taking heroin or cocaine, why are there so many users? Now that I think about it, what type of people use nicotine products?
Hey, get out of here. People might start using nicotine products like tobacco because others around them are smoking, or they might do it to get off of smoking themselves, although some may use it just because they feel like it.
Could this be an effect of the fact that nicotine products are so widely seen in our society? You could see tobacco products in video games, movies, online. Should this really be a surprise to us that there's so many users?
That could definitely be an effect. These devices are seen as harmless and generally easier to get, although these are able to prepare users for smoking by teaching them how to inhale and become addicted to nicotine. Not really a good thing.
So it's addictive and has a long list of symptoms?
The list isn't that long.
Sophie, just a few of the short-term effects are dizziness, headaches, decreased appetite, decreased skin temperature, and bad breath.
Not to mention mild euphoria and relaxation.
What about the long-term possibilities of getting lung cancer, heart disease, chronic bronchitis, emphysema, and infertility?
Izzy, stop
are not finished, one can develop an awakened immune system, a loss of sense of taste or smell, optic diseases, and osteoporosis.
Okay, so I guess it isn't all that good. And it doesn't improve the quality of life, huh?
Wow, who would have guessed it?
Hey, still thinking about joining Goop Nation? Channel.
Weed. Can you do that again? Isabella, are you joking her?
Hi, I'm Isabella.
And I'm Sophie.
And you're watching Disney Channel.
Wrong way, guys.
This line is the same. This one is bigger, that one's huge. Do you realize that's your next line? You see how long it is, Sophie's gonna be the reason we should Shut up! You know that's true. Don't say it to my face. Hi, the drug nicotine.
We wanted to share this with you today because...
Hi, I'm Isabella.
And I'm Sophie.
And we're here to talk to you about the current growing epidemic of the use of the drug nicotine. Sophie Martin, I'm going to punch you, Jesus Christ. Of the use of the drug nicotine.
We wanted to share this with you today because the use of the drug nicotine...
Use of the drug nicotine. Holy crap, Sophie. The use of the drug nicotine.
We wanted to share this with you today due to the...
Stop it! I'm gonna make you lose my mind. Hi, I'm Isabella. And I'm... The use of the drug nicotine.
We wanted to share this with you due to the fact that nicotine has become very...
Don't do it, Isabella.
Hi, I'm Isabella.
And I'm Sophie.
And we're here to talk to you about the current growing epidemic of drug nicotine.
We wanted to share this with you due to the...
I kicked it, I'm sorry. That was my fault about the use of the drug nicotine.
People have been smoking for at least 7,000 years, but it wasn't until the 1800s that cigarettes became the smoke of choice, after machines were developed to mass produce them. 200 years later, in 2003, the electronic cigarette was invented in China, and since then the use of e-cigarettes, also called vaping, has grown exponentially around the world. E-cigarettes are electronic devices that vaporize a flavored liquid. They all used to look like cigarettes, but now they come in many shapes and sizes. Many look like pens or small boxes called mods. What they all have in common is 1. A power source, usually a lithium battery. 2. An atomizer, which heats the e-liquid. 3. E-liquid or e-juice, which usually contains flavors and nicotine. And 4. A cartridge or tank, which is filled with e-liquid. Heating the e-liquid creates a cloud of vapor that looks like smoke, but without a lot of the lethal components contained in tobacco smoke. Many people assume e-cigarettes are safer than traditional cigarettes because they don't burn anything or create tar in your lungs. But it took almost 7,000 years for humans to realize that tobacco causes lung cancer, throat and mouth cancer, causes heart attacks and strokes, and damages the lungs. E-cigs, meanwhile, have only been around a little over a decade, so there just hasn't been enough time to figure out what effects they'll have on your body. We do know that e-cigarettes deliver nicotine just like the traditional cigarettes, causing increased heart rate and blood pressure. Nicotine also has powerful effects on the brain. It releases rewarding neurotransmitters in the brain, like dopamine, and changes brain chemistry. It is a stimulant, making people feel more alert, but when it goes away, people crave it even more. It can interfere with the body's own natural ability to make dopamine, and soon the user needs nicotine just to feel normal. The developing brain of teenagers is the most vulnerable to these effects. The powerful addictive nature of nicotine is so high that it's comparable to heroin and cocaine. Besides nicotine, e-cigarettes contain chemical solvents. When heated very high by some of the new e-cigarette devices, these solvents can be transformed into formaldehyde, which is a carcinogen. It causes cancer. These observations are concerning, but we really do not know what the long-term effects from inhaling these chemicals in your lungs will be. E-cigs contain many other chemicals to generate enticing flavors. In fact, there are almost 8,000 different flavors available today, so we don't know very much about many of them. We do know that some of the butter flavorings contain diacetyl, which is famous for causing popcorn lung. Popcorn lung is a disease called bronchiolitis obliterans, which is basically an irreversible irreversible scarring and destruction of the delicate lung tissue that can kill you. Strawberry and other healthy-sounding fruit flavors have been found to be cytotoxic and potentially cancer-causing as well. Vaping devices, or specifically the lithium batteries inside them, may explode unpredictably. Although uncommon, this happens frequently enough that e-cigarettes have been banned from luggage on airplanes. Unpredictable explosions have occurred in people's faces and mouths and resulted in serious injuries, including blindness. With these potential risks of e-cigarettes, the addictive nicotine, the exploding batteries, the carcinogenic liquids, why would any company want you to use them? Sales of e-cigarettes approach $8 billion per year and are increasing. The truth is, tobacco cigarettes kill about 50% of people who use them. So tobacco companies, known as Big Tobacco, need to keep recruiting young people to become addicted in order to stay in business. Here are some actual documented quotes from tobacco executives. "We don't smoke that shit, we just sell it. We reserve the right to smoke for the young, the poor, and the stupid. The base of our business is the high school student. The fragile self-image of the young person needs all the support it can get. Smoking may appear to enhance that self-image. Studies show that when people start to smoke in their teens, they become addicted and stay smokers as they grow older, even those who swear they will never become addicted. Many of the same strategies that Big Tobacco used to hook your grandparents into smoking tobacco cigarettes have simply been modified and are being used today with an e-cig in place of a tobacco cig. E-cigarettes come in candy and dessert flavors like Skittles, gummy bears, and vanilla cupcake, directly aimed at teens. Ads always show thin, beautiful people vaping. Even the strategic use of humor is being successfully used to get customers on their side. The bottom line is that we are all faced with important personal choices every day. We don't yet know everything we need to know to make informed decisions about many things, but we can resist being manipulated. Take your time when making your own personal decisions. It can make all the difference.